Now tell me, the screen is visible or not? Please anyone unmute your mic and tell me. Hello. Hello Lina. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ स्क्रीन दिसतोय सगळ्यांना? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Shall I start? मी सुरू करते लेक्चर. हॅलो. जर काही
Okay, ma'am.
प्रॉब्लेम आला
Yes.
तर मला इन्फॉर्म करा. ओके. So we have already started the unit 4, if statement and looping concepts. So out of which we have already learned about the control statements, if else, else if ladder, and nested if else. Today we learn about the switch statement. The switch statement is one of the control statements in the C language. When we have to use the switch statement, or in which situation we have to use the switch statements. All of you know that when you design the program using the if statement, when one of the many alternative is to be selected. But see, if you have the multiple alternatives, then the program becomes very difficult to read and understood. So the solution is you have to use the another multiple decision making statement, and that statement is called as the switch statement. This is the general syntax of switch statements. Switch is the reserved word that you have to learn the switch as it is, because this is a keyword and it appears as it is according to the syntax and into the bracket expression. Here expression means here you can give any valid expression or any valid test condition. Then this is the opening brace, and at last at bottom you see this is a closing brace. So within this opening and closing brace, this is called as the body of switch statement. So first of all, what happened when the computer encountered the switch statement, the expression will be evaluated first, and if the result of expression is evaluated, then that result will be matches one by one in the various case values, with the case value 1, case value 2, case value 3, up to the case value n. First of all, whatever the result of this expression, that will be compared with the value 1, case value 1. And if it matches, then the corresponding statement 1 block will be evaluated. Once the statement 1 block will be evaluated, then to get out of the switch statement, you have to use the break statement. With this break statement, your control is directly jumped to out of the switch statements, means the just below the statement of switch body. If the expression result of expression does not matches with the value 1, then it goes to the next value, that is value 2. Again it compares the result with the value 2, and if the match found, then the corresponding statement 2 block will be evaluated. So likewise, the result of expression will be checked against the available cases, case value 1, case value 2, case value 3, and case value n. But if the result of expression do not matches with any one of the value provided in the case, value 1, value 2, and value n, at that situation, your computer will be evaluated the default block. Default means what? If any one of the value does not matches with the result of expression, then in that situation, it evaluates the default block. Whatever the statements in the default block, that will be evaluated. After the evaluation, the break statement breaks, or it just transfers the control out of the switch body, and you will get the clear idea with the this figure. See, this is the figure of switch statement, the simple flowchart of the switch statement. See here, this is the continuation symbol. Expression means the condition, test condition. It is included in a diamond box. First of all, it will be evaluated, and the result will be evaluated, and that result will be compared with the case 1. If the result matches, then statement 1 block will be evaluated. After that, the break statement will be encountered, and due to this break statement, your control is directly out of the switch statement. If the result of expression do not match with the value of case 1, then means unmatched, then it goes to the second case. It goes to check the value of expression with the second value, and if the value matches, then it evaluates the statement to block and then break. But if doesn't match, that is unmatched, then it goes to the next case, and likewise all the cases will be compared with the result of expression 1, and if whenever the matching is found, the corresponding statement block will be evaluated, and due to this break, the program control transfer from the switch body, and if there is no any matching found against the case 1, case 2, or against the available cases, then in that situation the default block will be evaluated. And this is the complete work of the switch statement. After evaluation of this default block with this break statement, your control is transferred out of the switch body. Okay, and this is the example of the switch statement. See, it's a very simple example. Just I have included here one header file, stdio.h file. Then just I ask the user to enter the particular number. I just initialize that number equal to 0 and define the data type as integer. Then after that, I ask the user to enter a number. For the inputting the data, I use here the scanf %d address number, so that the whatever the number entered by the user, that will be stored into the number variable. Then switch expression, here I use the condition or any kind of the valid expression. Here I just use the number. Suppose here user entered the number as a 50. Then what happens? The statement is like switch 50. So what is the meaning of switch 50? After encountering the switch 50, your control is entered into the body of switch statement, and that 50 value will be compared with the first value 10. Is 50 equal to 10? Yes or not? Please unmute your mic and tell me. Is 50 equal to 10? If both the values are equal or not? 50 equal to 10, is it correct or wrong? Hello?
Correct.
50 equal to 10, is it correct or wrong? दोघं व्हॅल्यू इक्वल आहेत का? 50 इक्वल टू 50 आहे का, किंवा 10 इक्वल टू 10 आहे का? नाही. There is no matching found, and that's why this case, this block, the complete block will be skipped, and control is directly jump to the second case. And yes, here the matching founds, because the number stores the value 50, because here we consider that the user entered the 50, and that 50 will be matches to this 50, and that's why here the matching founds, and hence the corresponding statement will be evaluated, and the statement is printf number is equal to 50. What will be the output? The output is number is equal to 50, and then break. So due to this break statement, your control is directly jump out of the switch statement and just evaluate the next statement just below the body of switch, that is return 0, and you finally you will get the output as number is equal to 50. Suppose in case the user entered the number as a 12, in that case what happened? If the user entered the number 12, what will be the statement? The statement is switch into the bracket 12. So that 12 number will be compare against all the cases given or present in the switch body. Okay. So this number contains the 12. First of all, this 12 will be compared with the 10. Is both values are equal or not? 10 equal to 12? No, both values are not equal. So the computer just transfer to the next case. Computer transfers the control to the next case, that is case 50. Again here comparison, that is 10 equal to 12 equal to 50. Again there is no matching because both values are not equal. So again the control is transferred to the next case, that is case 100. Again here the comparison is like 12 equal to 100. Again both numbers are not matched. Therefore again this block will be skipped, and finally your control, the computer control will be enters into the default block. And here the final output is number is not equal to 10, 50 or 100. Break, due to this break your control is out of the switch body. Do you understand the whole concept of switch? Yes or no? Please unmute your mic and tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Miss, what is the working of switch? Then switch flowchart, and then this is the example. You remember, it's a very simple. You concentrate only on the expression. Whatever the result of expression, that will be compared with all the case values. And if the matching founds, then corresponding statements will be evaluated. Okay, now the next control statements are break, continue, and go to statements. The C language executes these statements sequentially one after another. All of you know that this C program, the execution of C program is from top to bottom sequentially, one after another. Means the first sentence will be evaluated, then second, then third, then fourth. Means just like the sequentially one after another. So even if it has the conditional statements or loop statements, and the flow of program is from top to bottom, but there is no random jumping or skipping of sequential flow. Means by default the program flow is sequential, and in many situations, or if you want to change the sequential flow, then in that situation the break, continue, and go to statements will be useful. Means if you want to skip the particular block of statements, then in that situation the break, continue, and go to statements are very useful. It is possible, to jump to execute next set of statements with break, continue, and go to statements. The break statement, as in the previous slide we already learned about the break statement. What is the role of break statement? The break statement is used to break the process of loop. Means whatever the process of loop, that will be break with by the break statement. Means break means just to transfer the control out of the body of that particular loop or that particular switch statement. Okay, and the general syntax is break. The example, this I have taken here the two examples. The one example for a while loop and another one example for a for loop. Okay, all this while and for that we will see later after this topic. So you just concentrate on the example what I am going to tell you. While test expression. While is again the reserve word, keyword. Text expression means any expression, valid expression in the C language. This is some of the lines, some of the codes. After that, just I will use here the if statement, if and some condition. That condition is generally used for the break. And if the condition becomes true, then the break statement will be evaluated. And what happens due to this break statement, the control is out of the if statement, and just your computer control will be transferred to the codes. Okay, means if it is break, then what happens? It is out of the particular if statement, while loop, or any other loop. In the second example, for here just I use here the integer condition and then upgrade. One right parenthesis is missing here. If condition for breaks, the similar example here, just I have used one of the condition. That condition is possibly used for the break statements. Means if the condition becomes true, then it enters into the body and it just break means it just keeps the statements within the scope of that if body or within the scope of this if. Means whatever the statements after this break, that will be skipped and control is directly jump to the next statement just below the if body. Now the next statement is continue statements. The continue statement is used to continue the execution of loop. It is used inside if condition. We can use it with the while, do while and for loop. The syntax is continue, means a simple word continue with the semicolon. With this example, you will get the clear idea. See, this is one of the example. Just I have taken here the one for loop, uh, and that for loop having initial value of I is 1. The test condition is I is less than or equal to 5, and then increment section consists of I plus plus. Okay. So into the loop of that for, just I have placed here the one condition. If I equal to 2, what happens? If the value of I becomes 2, then means condition becomes true, and in that situation the control entered into the body of if and it just evaluate the continue statements. So what happens with the
मॅम,
continue? Huh?
टर्मिनल
Yes.
वरती जर आपल्याला आउटपुट चेक करायचं असेल तर काय टाइप करावं लागतं?
काय काय?
टर्मिनल
हॅलो.
वरती जे आता तुम्ही प्रोग्रामिंग दिलेलं आहे ना,
ओके ओके.
तर त्याचं जर आउटपुट चेक करायचं असेल तर आपल्याला काय टाइप करावं
आउटपुट
लागतं?
चेक करण्यासाठी तुम्हाला कंट्रोल F9 की असेल. सगळ्यात आधी तुम्हाला प्रोग्रामला कंपाईल करावं लागेल. प्रोग्रामला कंपाईल करण्यासाठी अल्टर F9 असतं आणि प्रोग्राम बघण्यासाठी तुम्हाला कंट्रोल F9 असेल. आणि मॅडम ऍक्च्युअल प्रॅक्टिकल सुरू करणार आहेत. मी आज मॅडमशी आजच बोलते. उद्या किंवा परवा मॅडमला एक डेमो घ्यायला सांगते. म्हणजे तुम्हाला लवकर लक्षात येईल की प्रोग्राम कुठे टाईप करायचा, कसा कंपाईल करायचा आणि आउटपुट कुठे बघायचं. ओके. मी आजच मॅडमशी
ओके मॅम.
बोलते. करिश्मा मॅडम तुमचे प्रॅक्टिकल्स घेणार आहेत आणि मॅडमला उद्या एक डेमो लेक्चर तुमचं ठेवायला सांगते. एक छोटासा कोड घेतील मॅडम तुमचा सी प्रोग्रामिंग मध्ये आणि तो तुम्हाला राईट करून दाखवतील. अँड हाऊ टू सेव्ह, हाऊ टू कंपाईल अँड हाऊ टू एक्झिक्यूट अँड हाऊ टू सी द आउटपुट ऑफ दॅट पर्टिक्युलर प्रोग्राम. ऑल दी स्टेप्स विल बी कव्हर इन द टुमॉरोज लेक्चर. ओके.
ओके मॅम. ओके मॅम.
Okay. If I equal to 2 means if the condition becomes true, then the control is entered into the body of if statements and just it continue. What is the role of continue? The continue just continue the next iteration of the loop. Next iteration of the loop. And after that, with this continue, the control is again go to the for loop. Just increment the value of I from 2 to 3 and then it checks the condition. Is I is less than or equal to 5 means 3 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, condition is true. If the condition is true, then it enters into the body. Again it checks if I equal to 2. No, because here the value of I is 3 and that's why the whole block will be skipped and it just print the value of I, that is 3. सुरुवातीला काय होईल बघा की आय ची व्हॅल्यू 1 होते. ऍक्च्युअल लुपिंग कन्सेप्ट हा नंतर आहे. मी तुम्हाला तो पुन्हा व्यवस्थित समजून सांग तेवढं बघा. आय इक्वल टू 1 ज्या वेळेला असेल त्यावेळेला काय होईल, आय ची व्हॅल्यू 1 असाइन झालेली आहे. त्याच्यानंतर इथे कंडिशन चेक होते. आय इक्वल टू 2. Condition is not true because 1 is not equal to 2 and therefore if the condition is not true then it just keep the whole opening and closing brace of if statements and directly control jumps to the printf. Printf I means the 1 will be printed. Then after this, this is the closing brace of for loop. Due to this for loop closing brace, your control is again back to the for statements and here the value of I is incremented by 1 means 1 plus 1 that is equal to 2. Then it checks the condition 2 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, condition is true. Then it enters into the body of for loop. Then it evaluates if I equal to 2. Yes, because the value of I becomes true 2 here. So 2 is equal to 2. Condition is true. And then again control enters into the if body and it just continue. So what happens here? Continue means it just keep all the statements just below the continue. कंटिन्यूच्या खाली कोणतं स्टेटमेंट आहे? प्रिंटेप. मग त्याने काय केलं? प्रिंटेप स्टेटमेंट स्किप केलं. प्रिंटेप स्टेटमेंट स्किप केल्यानंतर हा ब्रॅकेट कोणता आहे? क्लोजिंग ब्रेस आहे फॉर लूपचा. सो ड्यू टू दॅट क्लोजिंग ब्रेस ऑफ फॉर लूप अगेन कंट्रोल इज transferred back to the for statements and the value of I is incremented by 1, that is I plus plus means 2 plus 1 3. Again it checks I is equal to 2 means 3 is equal to 2. No, the condition is not true. That's why it skips the continue block and it directly print the value of I, that becomes a 3. If you carefully see the output, you see 1, 3, 4 and 5. So what is missing? Here the 2 is missing. Why the 2 is missing? Because here I have written the condition if I is equal to 2, continue. And due to that, हे कंटिन्यू स्टेटमेंट यूज केल्यामुळे काय झालं की इथून खाली कंटिन्यूच्या खाली जे स्टेटमेंट्स आहेत ते त्याने स्किप केले आणि जिथे फॉर लूपचा क्लोजिंग ब्रॅकेट आहे तिथून तो पुन्हा वर जाईल फॉर लूपला आणि त्याच्या नेक्स्ट इटरेशन नेक्स्ट रिपिटेशन तो स्टार्ट करेल अँड दॅट्स वाय हिअर द व्हॅल्यू 2 इज मिसिंग इन द आउटपुट 1 3 4 and then 5. So this is the output of continue statement. So you remember that with this continue statement, it just continue the next iteration of loop with skipping the remaining statements of the body. जे कंटिन्यूच्या नंतर जे काही रिमेनिंग स्टेटमेंट्स असतील ते तो सोडून देईल. म्हणजेच काय झालं? सिक्वेन्शियल फ्लो ब्रेक झाला, सिक्वेन्शियल फ्लो चेंज झाला. जर तुम्ही कंटिन्यू यूज नाही केलं किंवा ब्रेक स्टेटमेंट नाही यूज केलं तर काय होईल की कंटिन्युअसली तो काय करेल फ्रॉम टॉप टू बॉटम सिक्वेन्शियली प्रत्येक स्टेटमेंट तो एक्झिक्यूट करेल. ओके, बट I have to change the sequential flow, and for that here I use the break statement as well as the continue statements, and due to that the change of sequential flow here the value 2 is missing. Okay, clear? All of you understood or not? Please unmute your mic and tell me. Hello, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, and the next statement, the last control statement is the go to statement. The general meaning of go to and this go to in C language both are very similar. Go to. So go to statement is used to transfer the unconditional program control to the label statements. See the difference. The break statement, then continue statements, all are depends on the condition particular. But in case of go to, there is no any condition, and that's why here the unconditional word is used. Okay, the syntax is go to identifier. Hello, am I audible? Hello, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so go to identifier. See here, there is no any condition after go to. Only the variable or only the identifier after the go to statements. And with this example, you will clear the idea. Hash include stdio.h main program. Just I am printing the message. Hello, we are learning C language tutorial. Okay, only 10 minutes are remaining. Go to label. So what happens? Go to label means the your computer control will be transferred to the label where it is present. Okay. Go to label. What is the meaning? Meaning काय आहे go to label चं की जिथे लेबल असेल प्रोग्राम मध्ये राईट केलेलं तिथे कम्प्युटरचा कंट्रोल ट्रान्सफर करायचा आहे. सो गो टू लेबल मुळे काय झालं? कंट्रोल हा डायरेक्ट लेबलला आलाय. Okay, and after that, the next statement will be evaluated as printf, hope you are fine. And what will be the output? The output is hello, we are learning C language tutorial and hope you are fine. See, these two statements are skipped. How are you? Are you okay? These two statements are skipped due to this go to statement, go to label, because the label is here. The label is available after these two lines, and that's why the computer skips these two sentences and directly it jumps to the printf last printf statement. Hope you are fine, and that's why you will get the output as a first printf line and the last printf line. Okay, is there any problem?